Boston has more NBA titles again, and the Lakers have no one to blame but themselves. The Dodgers believe Mookie Betts can be back in just 2 months, and Jeff Van Gundy will become the Clippers' top assistant coach. Good morning. I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos morning report. So it is June 18th, 2024. I'm back in Southern Illinois to work, and I'm assuming it's a very unpleasant morning out in SoCal, one of the few, because of those cultural appropriators over in Boston. None of them real Irish, I might add. They won themselves a title. I have a lot to get out of my system on that. By the way, do you like being in the know about LA sports? Well, if you do, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist, and by all means comment. Now, before we go through the news and notes, a look at the scoreboard. Dodgers 9, Colorado 5. Will Smith and Jason Hayward each drove in 2 runs. The Dodgers increased their lead to 8.5 in the NL West, and we'll talk more about the Dodgers in a moment. Meanwhile today, Dodgers at Colorado again at 540. Walker Buehler is 1-4 with a 4.64 ERA. Austin Gomber is 1-4 as well, 4.26 ERA. Sparks are at Connecticut at 4. We've avoided a lot of talk about the Sparks lately because, frankly, they stink. It's as simple as that. They stink. But I did at least want to thank the WNBA for not fixing their draft lottery so that Caitlin Clark would be in LA. Because I did not start this channel so I could talk every day about racially motivated cat fights. I'm a grown-ass man. I don't want to go into that. Whether they win or lose, great. Whether they can ball, great. This is not so we could discuss grand societal issues about a bunch of no. But what do you say we start talking actual sports? Magic Johnson tweeted after Boston won the NBA title last night, quote, "I hate that the Celtics officially have more championships than us now," unquote. And he should hate it. I hate it. Totally get it. I've been to Boston. It is by far the most racist town I have ever been in. It's a terrible town. Open racism, open homophobia, not even remotely polite about it. They use the word wicked in front of everything. If you get your GED, your family will call you wicked smart. It's the only place in civilization, Boston is, where Dunkin' Donuts is considered cuisine when you want to impress that special someone. Consider this. Madame Web was a superhero movie set in Boston. Why did it bomb? Not only that, why did it bomb so bad that the entire superhero genre for movies is now in peril? It's because Boston is the only city in the United States that isn't worth saving. Back when I was young and convinced I had a future, the Lakers and Celtics would often get in these wars, Magic versus Bird. That was my youth, my gloriously angry youth. But it needs to be said that part of the blame for the Celtics now having one more title than the Lakers, part of the blame belongs to Magic Johnson because he was part of the front office for the Lakers for quite a few years. There's a lot of blame to go around, to be honest, not just Magic. I'm not going to blame the players, by the way. Oh, it's easy to blame players. But whenever an entire business starts to run aground, it's management's fault. It's management's fault. The Lakers front office have made so many catastrophic errors since the death of Jerry Buss in 2013. And this, in turn, gave the Celtics all the time that they needed to finally win their first ring since 2008. George W. Bush was in the White House back in 2008. That's how long it's been. People wore Uggs. They listened to the music of T-Pain back then. That's how long it's been since the Celtics finally got to put up a banner in that barn of theirs. If the Lakers had a functional front office after Jerry Buss passed away, they'd not only have caught Boston, they'd have put a few titles ahead of Boston. Instead, the Lakers have had 5 head coaches alone in that time, since 2013. This is on not only Magic, it's on Jim Buss, Jerry's son, the guy who tore the Lakers' business plan to shreds, along with former general manager Mitch Kupchak. It's his fault too. The Lakers' plan for decades was always based on 2 pillars. Get the best center possible, get the best point guard possible. Go through Lakers history. Tell me I'm wrong. Wilt and Jerry West, Kareem and Magic, Shaq and Kobe, even LeBron and Anthony Davis. Jim Buss got aroused by this positionless basketball thing that was being created up in Golden State. And then what did he do? He handed Mike D'Antoni a team with no outside shooting. Well done, Jim Buss. Well done. We haven't forgotten that stupidity. Then Jeannie Buss, she has to go get into this goofy public family Game of Thrones spat with her brother. She gets to take over the team thanks to the court system, which was great. You get a title, but while I respect Jeannie Buss for getting the upper hand on her brother, while I respect her for getting the Lakers' 17th title, there's been nothing but micromanagement from the Lakers. Nothing but it. She doesn't make her own decisions. She listens to Magic, then she listens to Phil Jackson, which she listens to pretty much anybody who's ever worn a Laker jersey other than 2 people. Her own GM, Rob Pelinka, and while he was alive, Jerry West. Why the Lakers did not patch things up with Jerry West while he was alive is arguably the biggest error in Laker history. Let's not get it twisted. We keep hearing about how well the Lakers draft, but how the hell can you say that? Aside from Austin Reeves, who? Name the last Lakers truly great draft pick. It wasn't even Kobe Bryant. Charlotte took him. You're going all the way back to the days of James Worthy, for Pete's sakes, before you could say that Lakers draft pick was amazing in the purple and gold. Remember when the Lakers had 3 consecutive lottery picks? Magic Johnson swore to us all that Lonzo Ball was going to have his number retired up in the rafters. Great judge of character, dude. Justin Randle, Brandon Ingram. You have to think to remember that they still play in the NBA. So no, the reason that I don't blame LeBron James for his drama is because, by the way, Kobe and Shaq brought their drama. There was an HBO special dedicated to exposing the dirty laundry of drama of the Showtime era. So no, I'm not going to blame LeBron James. He's not the problem. When a business goes into turmoil, it is on the people who wear the suits. So, in Jeannie Buss's case, I might add, the pantsuit. It is on her. It is on Phil Jackson. It is on Magic Johnson. It is on Mitch Kupchak. It's even on Rob Pelinka for not standing up for himself and saying, look, guys, you hired me to run this team. Do I get to run it or not? And it's damn sure on Jim Buss. Not that he cares. He's probably singing Radar Love in a karaoke bar or something. The fact that a podcaster is getting serious consideration for the coaching job is all I need to know about the current state of the Lakers front office. Too many chefs in the damn kitchen. And that's the memo. The next step for the Lakers starts pretty damn quickly. They and the Clippers can start negotiating with their own potential free agents starting today. The 2 big names for the Lakers are obviously James and guard D'Angelo Russell. Both of them could opt out of their current contracts. I have no reason to believe LeBron James is going anywhere. There's obviously rampant belief that D'Angelo Russell could opt out or become trade bait. Other than that, you're talking about Tarion Prince and Cam Reddish, center Jackson Hayes. I think they could return, considering the affordability of their contracts. Spencer Dinwiddie's future is about as bleak as the Disney Star Wars franchise right now. Gabe Vincent being healthy makes Dinwiddie expendable. Meanwhile, over with the Dodgers, the typical downtime for a person with a broken hand, doctors have told me, is about 3 to 4 months. The Dodgers anticipate Mookie Betts with his broken hand can cut that in half. After getting a second opinion on Monday, Betts is going to be fitted for a splint to try to get it to heal on its own. Meanwhile, Miguel Vargas was summoned from Oklahoma City to take Betts' spot on the roster. Miguel Rojas, not Vargas, as we previously discussed, will take over at shortstop. Shohei Ohtani will hit in the leadoff position. If you are looking for a silver lining in this story, even if it's true that Betts could return for 3 months instead of 2, it's that we will have a solid idea if Miguel Rojas belongs in the major leagues, because he's got at least 2 months to prove it. If so, you would figure his value at the trade deadline increases. If we are being honest with ourselves, Rojas is the next Michael Busch, a guy who hits well, but where the hell do you put him with the Dodgers? I also want to thank The Athletic and some idiot website called Fansided for flooding my timeline with panic trade porn. Wrote the overly emotional Zach Presnell of Fansided, quote, "The Dodgers need to replace Mookie Betts after his recent hand injury." And then he wrote, "The Dodgers need to act fast in order to replace Betts." No, they don't. Instead of a journalism degree, you probably should have spent that student loan money on some new testicles, because the ones you have, bro, ain't working. The Dodgers, again, have an 8.5 game lead. They are the only team, by the way, in the NL West that's over 500, which means that the Padres, Scum Francisco, the rest of the teams at this point in time are stank. The Dodgers literally went from having 3 MVPs in the lineup to having 2. Oh no, what are they going to do? They do not have a need to push the panic button, guys. And by the way, General Manager Brandon Gomes said as much. He tethered people back to reality when he went to the LA Times and said, quote, "I actually don't think it meaningfully changes anything at this point with the expectation that those guys are going to be back for the postseason," unquote. Not that the Zach Presnells of the world will listen. Tyler Glasnow said the reason he was able to pitch 7 scoreless innings in Sunday's victory over Kansas City was by mixing his pitches, specifically the 2-seam and 4-seam fastballs. It's remarkable how the simplest adjustments will pay dividends. If you're wondering, a 2-seam fastball is actually slower than the 4-seamer, but it moves more. There's more break to it. So now you're at the plate, you see the grip. It's a fastball either way. You think, okay, fastball. But now you have to wonder if it's going to be fire or if it's going to break on you at the last minute. Yes, the Dodgers introduced a City Connect uniform. No, I do not give a damn. They are all trash. Even for the team that I love. Minutes after the Celtics were christened champs, ESPN reported that Jeff Van Gundy will leave the Celtics to join the Clippers as their top assistant. In other words, Boston is such a trash town that Van Gundy left a cush golden parachute do-nothing gig so that he can get back to the sidelines and work under a dude he used to coach in Ty Lue. It's like saying, thanks for the ring, you sleazy bastards. Now let me parlay that into a lesser job so I can go eat some In-N-Out burger instead of pork and beans. Van Gundy is known to the youngins for his work as an ESPN analyst, but he was also the head coach of the Knicks in Houston. I mentioned the offseason for the Lakers earlier. What I will say is that I'm not into making big predictions, but if Paul George decides to draw out this drama a little too long, Don't be surprised if the Clippers just say screw it and drop a 3-year contract on James Harden and move on, better or worse. Switching to football, for the most part, NFL draft picks have no leverage. Virtually every pick is locked into a range, give or take a buck. The Chargers have bucked tradition, though, because they signed their last remaining unsigned draft pick. Ladd McConkey now has a 4-year deal with the largest amount of guaranteed money ever for a 34th overall pick. Now, this is according to NFL Network, but oddly enough, they did not say how much that contract or the guaranteed money was for. McConkey is known as an excellent route runner. He's been lining up in the slot for much of the offseason activities. All I can say is I did not buy a recent report that suggested Chargers receivers can't catch, because McConkey can. Kings general manager Rob Blake has been adamant about not buying out the contract of known sluggard Pierre-Luc Dubois. The final for such a move can happen 48 hours after the Stanley Cup Finals have ended, but the reason that I brought out buyouts is not because of Dubois. The Athletic listed 12 players most likely to get bought out. Yes, Dubois was on the list, but so were 3 former Kings goalies. Jack Campbell, now a backup in Edmonton, Eunice Korpisalo over in Ottawa, and Cal Peterson, who is supposed to be the next great Kings goalie after Jonathan Quick. Peterson's about to hit 30 years old, and he only played 5 games in Philadelphia last year. The reason I bring it up is because I believe that the Kings front office wrongly believed that it would be easy as pie to find the next Jonathan Quick. Oh, so easy. Now, you can clown Blake all you want for that foolish deal to get Dubois, and that's fair. I hear you. But if you're looking for something that's just as bad, if not worse, the Kings front office keeps going through goalies like a junkie goes through syringes, trying to find the perfect syringe. I guess I'm basically saying that because I keep thinking the Kings front office is on drugs, but that's another story. CBSSports.com is bullish on USC wide receiver Jacoby Lane. They label him as a second-year player capable of having a breakout season. They believe so because Lane caught 3 passes, 2 for touchdowns in the Holiday Bowl, which suggests Lane has rapport with Miller Moss. Lane is also 6'4", which means he is also in position to outbattle defensive backs for jump balls. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Who do you blame for the fact that the Lakers did not pad a lead over the Boston Celtics in terms of titles, or for that matter, get one? Are you cool with Mookie Betts being out for 2 months, or are you succumbing to the panic? And if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We talk LA sports every single day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Corte El Queso production. Take care.